Hey. You know what day it is. It's Tuesday. And you know what that means. Ha ha! It's time to get into this Raw recap because last night, it was Legends Night. And the feel is right. It was Legends Night. What a night. What a night. Because I'm Ray Williams. You're you. And we're roped in. First off, thank you guys for joining me once more. I appreciate all of your support. But please, if you haven't already, go ahead, hit that follow button for me right here on Sportscaster. You're notified of every time I have a live stream available. Also, do me another favor as well while you're at it. They don't cost you a thing. Go ahead, hit that favorite button if you like what we're doing right here. And go ahead and share it with a friend. Please. It would be much appreciated. Also, if you want to be a part of the conversation, go ahead, give a comment right down here in the chat box. Let your voice be heard, and I will make sure to get to the comments as soon as I'm done with the recap. All right, so let's go ahead, get to the Raw notes. Hopefully you guys are doing well. The first Raw of the new year. I won't spoil too much, but if you guys saw it, wasn't anything to write home about. But we shall get into it. Okay? So, first off, wasn't much big news. Some things going on with some stuff. Oh, I guess Cardi B used to be a wrestling fan because she was commenting, I guess, with a lot of people with Tori Wilson. And again, we'll get into it, mentioning her name. I guess she found out about it. She was like, oh, I used to like wrestling. I was like, oh, okay. Well, then now she's about to get into a feud with Lacey Evans. So that's crazy. So you never know what happens when certain people's names are mentioned. It's crazy. Is that weird amalgamation of pop culture and pro wrestling kind of finding a relationship with one another. So that's pretty cool. All right, let's get into it. You get out. All right. WWE Raw notes. Ric Flair calls Charlotte her match. Melina, Cardi B, Teddy Long. Ric Flair is scorned by Charlotte. Cardi B reacts to Raw. Teddy Long makes a tag team match. And more from Raw Legends Night. So as we go down, the WWE Women's Tag Team Champions Charlotte Flair and Raw Women's Champion Asuka competed on tonight's Raw against Lacey Evans and Peyton Royce. Ric Flair was in Charlotte and Asuka's corner. Throughout the match, Lacey Evans continuously made advances towards Ric and got his attention on several occasions. There came a point during a match when Charlotte was hitting the ropes and Ric accidentally tripped her up, which led to her being pinned. Charlotte then dismissed her father, and she did more than dismiss her father, let me tell you that. We'll get into it. All right. Melina made her return to WWE as a part of Legends Night. She was a part of a segment with Lucha House Party, Grand Metalik, and Lince Dorado. Metalik and Dorado went on to get a win over the Raw Tag Team Champions Cedric Alexander and Shelton Benjamin. This Wednesday, Metalik is challenging Santos Escobar for the NXT Cruiserweight title at New Year's Evil. All right. And here we go with Cardi B. Grammy award-winning artist Cardi B reacted to tonight's Raw, or last night's Raw, I should say, on social media. Her name was brought up in a segment with Tori Wilson, Nikki Cross, and Angel Garza. Garza approached Wilson to give her a rose, and Wilson directed Garza to a room where there were several quote-unquote celebrities in there, including quote-unquote Cardi B. In the room was the Boogeyman, who caused Garza to lose the 24/7 title to R-Truth. Cardi B reacted to being tagged in wrestling posts. So this is crazy. This is not how my WWE was supposed to be. Vince McMahon, count your effing days. Jeez. Wow, I didn't even see that one. Okay, no more WWE tweets. I haven't watched it in years. I was just confused on all the WWE tweets I was getting before this. Last time I heard about it was about a sexy wrestler named Carmella. Carmella is indeed sexy. I will give her that. And then I think this was Sasha Banks when she responded to a picture with Sasha Banks, or a gift about Sasha Banks. I like her a lot, and Sasha Banks replied, "I love you." So it's cool to see somebody who's considered such a big as big of a celebrity as Cardi B. And I believe someone mentioned this before, how unlike other celebrities, like there were other celebrities mentioned in that segment, including Beyonce. Lord knows Beyonce ain't responded to something like this, but it's kind of crazy how people see Cardi B as like that accessible person who's just a regular person. Is not, they not pretentious. She's not pretentious. She's not snotty nose and lifting her nose up at people, but she's accessible to a point where people really find her relatable, and she reaches out to everybody, and she's been reaching out to people even in pro wrestling. She's reaching out to people, and so it's just crazy just to see that connection between, like I said, pop culture / celebrities and pro wrestling. Let's go down. I think she said another one where she mentioned Melina as being one of her top wrestlers that she enjoyed watching. I think she also, and Melina responded, and she was like, "Oh, this is great." I think she mentioned someone else too, and they responded. It was pretty cool. All right. Once the segment ended, Garza was met by Ron Simmons, who delivered his signature "damn" line. Alicia Fox was back on WWE programming for the first time since 2019. I actually didn't know she was on programming in 2019. She was part of a build-up to the Angel Garza Boogeyman segment. Mickie James was back on Raw as well and was labeled a legend. So apparently, the woman who wrestled just as recently as this summer is now just another legend, apparently. She appeared alongside Tatanka and Sergeant Slaughter. Mickie last wrestled in September on Raw against Zelina Vega. In October, she shared that she suffered a broken nose and would be out of action for several weeks. Teddy Long kicked off Raw and made a tag team match featuring John Morrison and The Miz versus Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods. But that was not before he originally scheduled a match between Miz and Morrison and The Undertaker, which I don't think Teddy Long got the memo during Survivor Series. Also throughout the night, Randy Orton antagonized the Legends and tried to pick a fight with the likes of Big Show, Mark Henry, and Ric Flair. So, first off, let's start with Sharp. Well, matter of fact, while we're down here, let's start with the use of the legends. So, let me get a one camera one camera look on this. So we build up this Legends Light for like 2-3 weeks. We were saying all these people are going to be here. Um, we're saying Carlito's going to be here. We're saying Kurt Angle's going to be here. We're saying all these other. I believe there are a few more. Michael Hayes. We got pictures of Michael Hayes. We got pictures of Beth Phoenix. Even though they may not have explicitly said that some of these people were going to be here, why put them in the package if you're not expecting them to be there? And some of them you did announce, and you still didn't have them. And so I'm like, oh, this is weird. And then we get to the use of the legends. First off, we kick off the show right off the bat with your boy Terry Bollea talking about the H phone. This joke is like 10 years old. It's like, if you were going to do a joke about the iPhone and doing all that stuff, you should have done it when the iPhone came out. You know what I'm saying? The iPhone been around. We up to like the iPhone 11 now. And then you talking about the Hogan phone or the H phone. And we can clearly see there's nothing really different to this phone. All it is you got a Hulk Hogan phone cover on it. So I'm like, what's even the purpose of doing this? Other than to have Hulk Hogan pretty much start the show, which is problematic in itself. And then you get to later on when you got Hulk Hogan and Drew McIntyre crossing paths, and Jimmy Hart for some reason popping out and talking about him and Sheamus are alike. That's pretty much the only thing that I enjoyed about this interaction. It just seems like WWE doesn't have like the awareness to know just the effect that Hulk Hogan has on people now. And I heard people talking about it on the podcast, of course. Avid listener of Post Wrestling, as you can tell, if you're a fan or if you've been following my show. It's been about, they mentioned that it's been about 5-6 years since the controversy with him in that tape and your boy Bubba the Love Sponge, the secret recordings and just all the fallout from that. And it's like he never I want to like he never it didn't seem like he never sincerely apologized to the fans about his actions on the tape and never really corrected his actions as far as like publicly. And I don't care about hearing anything from Hulk Hogan to make me decide whether I like him or not, but at least go out there. If you're trying to really show people that you've changed from this event, and even though it was of no fault of your own that it was broadcast to the world, you still said some pretty explosive things on there, and especially when it comes to race. And for you to kind of give a wishy-washy apology on like CBS This Morning or Today Show or wherever he was on, and then just sit out in a corner for like 2 years, and then WWE just lets you back like nothing happened. And I believe it was another time where they tried to bring Hulk Hogan back during the pay-per-view, and it was reported that Titus O'Neil was just livid about the whole situation. And so not only has he not reached out to the fans, but he hasn't even reached out to pretty much the locker room, the current day locker room, about his actions and about sincerely being regretful about his actions and being devoted to changing for the better. So again, just having him on right now is problematic to say the least. And I don't know. I mean, some people were online like, I used to mess with Drew McIntyre. Not no more. I mean, I'm not going to throw Drew McIntyre under the bus because of course he's doing his job, and knowing he's a wrestling fan, he was probably a fan of Hulk Hogan back in the day as well. And so he's probably not even considering that, especially considering his pigmentation. He probably wasn't even uh, he probably wasn't even aware of the fact that all this controversy was being stirred up, or he was, and it didn't affect him the way it would affect someone like me. So I'm not tripping over Drew McIntyre, but WWE should know better. But if we know anything, we know that anything in the hands of a 70-year-old man will not be in touch with the current climate of the present day that we're in. So I don't know. That was just one one crazy thing that the use of the legends brought us. Then you get on to pretty much people just making cameos. They weren't an active part of the show, or they were a minimal part of the show, or they were being humiliated. I mean, in the case of Molly Holly and Tatanka, poor Tatanka, you got him dressed up in his garb, and he doesn't even utter a word. You know what I'm saying? And then you got people like Sergeant Slaughter, who's only saying like one word or two words. It's like, why are these people here? And we're using the term legend very, very loosely. Like, I don't know if the Boogeyman would be considered a legend. Um, he's a veteran of the business, and he's a likable character. Legend? I don't think so. If you guys think so, if your favorite wrestler is the Boogeyman, please let me know in the comments below. And it's just crazy. And then even Tori Wilson, by the way, looked very, very much taller than Nikki Cross, but that's not saying anything. But I thought Tori Wilson was relatively short, but turns out, of course, she had heels on. And then she's up there skipping with the heels on. She's very, 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 very light on her feet if she's able to skip with heels on. It's just crazy. The use of the legends, and then the whole thing with Randy Orton, and it's just like, at first you had him saying, "Oh, I was being too nice. I was showing compassion," and that's not me. And so he takes it out by just berating people, and of course I can see where they're trying to go. Whereas Randy Orton, oh, so he's trying to act all tough now, so he's getting in the face of people who can't really defend themselves, or can defend themselves in the case of Big Show. But I guess because of a spiritual awakening that was off camera, he decides that he's going to take the peaceful approach. And it's just like, why would you get in Big Show's? He ain't injured. Like, I could see like Mark Henry, who was rolling around on the scooter, but for some reason was standing straight up when he was sitting out on the ramp during the Drew McIntyre and the Kevin Lee match. For some reason, he was standing straight up, no scooter to be found. Oh, he was healed. Thank you, Lord. Healed. But yeah, I could see him being defenseless because he literally didn't have a leg to stand on. Ow! And then, of course, Ric Flair being a quote-unquote feeble old man. Yeah. It's just, why would you use, especially Flair, and we'll get to him and Charlotte as well, but it's like, what are you proving by Randy Orton, going up to people who are pretty much defenseless and trying to be all big and bad? Like, I could see with him taking out his aggression on Jeff Hardy. Yes, I can see that. And by the way, I don't want to ever see nobody's fingers through another man's gauge in his ears ever again. Jeff Hardy, simple solution. Trainer's tape on your ears, bro. Stop it. I don't want to. No one wants to see this. I had to turn away. Like a man on fire. Oh! Hands in the gauges. Oh, Jesus, no. Like, that's how I was. I don't know. But yeah. And as far as this, what are they going to do with Randy Orton come Royal Rumble leading up to SummerSlam, or WrestleMania, I should say. I don't know where I'm doing. Come Royal Rumble leading up to WrestleMania, because I'm assuming they're probably going to do the brand new Bray Wyatt at WrestleMania, but what are you going to do in between? Like, what are you going to do leading up to that, like at the Royal Rumble? Or are you going to have brand new Bray Wyatt show up at the Rumble, and then they break that off, and then Edge somehow gets involved and he makes his comeback? Who knows? We'll see what happens with that. But yeah, the use of the legends was just and then your boy Goldberg. So, by the way, spoilers. I done went through the show. Spoilers. Yeah, we get our championship match between Drew McIntyre and Keith Lee. Very hard-hitting match. First off, Keith Lee is not a cruiserweight. That's the first thing. When he hit that leapfrog, barely got over, it's like, dude, you're not a cruiserweight. It's like people keep saying, oh, he moves like he's 150 pounds, 200 pounds lighter. No, he does not. He moves like a man his size. He's a little bit more agile at his size, but he's still at his size. So stop trying to make this man out to be something that he isn't. But then when that Bama hit that Spanish fly, though, I was like, oh! And then when I saw that land, I was like, oh, he's still not a cruiserweight, but oh, that was fantastic. So it's just a tremendous match. Hard-hitting match. Pounced your boy McIntyre out of the out of the barricade. So that was pretty cool. Drew McIntyre was able to show off his power a little bit too with a belly-to-belly suplex. Very, 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 very good match, especially towards the end. Getting towards the end, it picked up very, very nicely, and your man caught the Claymore out of midair. And that was pretty good. And then he deadlifted him up, getting him ready for the spirit bomb. So it's like stick with your literal strengths, Keith Lee. Like, you can be agile and everything, and you can do little things here and there, but please don't be out here trying to pull off these 205 live moves, man. Please. But Drew McIntyre, as he always does, he found a way, pulled off the Claymore, got the 1, 2, 3, and the victory. And now, all of a sudden, Goldberg, who just it's funny. It's funny the timing that Goldberg has. Every time he wants to get involved, it's always either around Survivor Series or around a January when it's like Royal Rumble time. I wonder why. It's never like in September. It's never in like April. Or like April after Mania. It's always towards the beginning of WrestleMania season. So, But yeah, he just He says, I'm not. This made no sense to me. I'm not. What did he say? He said, Um, he said something to the effect of, I'm not calling you out, or I'm not posing a threat. Um, I am simply pulling out a challenge. I was like, wait, what? Meet me at the Royal Rumble. I was like, wait, what? As And then he has some mumbo jumbo about Drew McIntyre not showing respect, which obviously is not the case. So I don't know. Is Goldberg trying to be the heel? Is he trying to? I don't know what's going on. And then McIntyre's just like, you're old enough. It's like, it'll be like facing my dad at WrestleMania, which was a good line. And then Goldberg just shoves him. It's like, come on, B. Like, I thought Goldberg still wanted to go after Roman Reigns, but I guess they kind of flipped that switch and like, nah, Roman Reigns is doing the best work in his career. We don't need this. We don't need this dumpster fire for Roman. But yeah, just the use of the legends tonight was just awkward to say the least. And it was kind of interesting because I saw some clips of Raw Talk, which had Mustafa Ali on there. Because, of course, he's not a legend, so he couldn't be on last night. But he made some very, very good points. And whether it's kayfabe logic, like storyline logic, or whether it's actual logic, it pretty much fits the bill for both. So he was just saying, really, all the legends get 3 hours, yet us talent who've been working behind the scenes or been getting matches here and there, we just get sat on the sidelines. And he had a very, very good point. Like a Nikki Cross. Like, why have a Nikki Cross just backstage? Why not have this woman wrestling? Like, why can't she be in that women's division to be facing against Asuka or somebody? Why has she got to be backstage with Tori Wilson talking about Cardi B coming? Like, I don't understand. And then why have you pretty much just demoted Angel Garza when you were trying to heat him up all this time. You were trying to kind of reinvent him, but then you put him back in this stupid gimmick with him giving out the Bachelor Rose, and then all of a sudden you got him winning on a TikTok video, got him winning the 24/7 championship, and then all of a sudden he gets spooked into getting rolled up by R-Truth. And matter of fact, that's another thing. How come Angel Garza didn't have the 24/7 mob after him? Like, that's weird. But yet R-Truth is always the one. Everybody's always running after the black man. Now, what you're trying to show that the black man has good. The black man is fast. He's speedy, so he's always got to be on the run. Oh Lord. But yeah, that's with just the way they're using Garza, and like I said, Andrade hasn't been on for Lord knows how long. Aleister's black, even though he's on SmackDown. Same thing though. I mean, you've been fitting in other people. You can fit in an Andrade. You can fit in somebody else. Like, try to bring up like the future or the present leading into the future talent of this business, not going back to Sergeant Slaughter and Tatanka and IRS who just standing there talking. I don't know. I don't understand. But yep. That was the Legends, and that was the main event as well. But at least Lucha House Party is getting. Oh, Melina. So yeah, Melina also, all she said was lucha, lucha. But it seems like, I guess, with NWA letting most of their women go out to seek better pastures or greener pastures in other companies until they get back fully on their feet. Um, I believe Melina was a part of that roster as well, but they were just like, "Hey, go ahead. If you need to cut ties with us for now and come on back, that's fine." So Melina was here and she got herself a payday. And of course, she didn't have her anywhere near John Morrison. That would be awkward. Or maybe I don't know how they ended their relationship. Hopefully, they ended on good terms. I don't know. At least we did have Lucha House Party pick up a big victory. Um, we're seeing the seeds of dissent once again upon the the reigning tag team champions of Cedric Alexander and Shelton Benjamin. At first, it was just like Ced was just getting in, and then he was getting his stuff in, and then uh, even if he wasn't involved in the pin, he would always try to make it about himself if they got the victory. So, so it finally cost him this time, and now Shelton Benjamin was just livid. Um, and tack that on to the fact that the U.S. champion Bobby Lashley lost. He had a match against Matt Riddle, which was not mentioned in the Raw report. But yeah, so he had him in a hurt lock, and then as he lifted Riddle over, Riddle lifted his legs up, almost kicked the referee. Referee had to duck. As the referee was ducking and turning out of the way, Matt Riddle taps out. Your boy Lashley, even though the referee doesn't call for the bell, even though your music is not being played, even though the announcer has not yet gotten on the microphone, you're going to let go of the hold talking about some, I won. Yeah. No, you fool. And you think MVP of all people, MVP, you're a purple belt in jiu-jitsu. What do they tell you in jiu-jitsu? Do not let go until the referee pulls you off. Do not let go until the referee sees the tap. The referee did not see the tap, and then your boy Matt Riddle rolled up Bobby Lashley and got the victory. So I knew they were going to give Riddle the victory because, of course, they've been leading up one of the very few long-term or at least medium-term stories that they've been telling. That's not like a main event story. Was the story that they've been telling between Riddle and the Hurt Business. So I knew that was leading up to Riddle most likely getting a U.S. title shot in the near future. Most likely during WrestleMania. So, or not WrestleMania, Royal Rumble. Doggone it. Alliteration. That R sound. It tripping me out. Alright. But, yeah. We're getting that. I didn't mind that one way or the other. I knew that was the direction they were going in. So yeah, Hurt Business was not very happy on last evening. So let's rewind back to the women's tag match that we got between Charlotte Flair and Asuka and your girls, who I'm still trying to remember, Lacey Evans and Peyton Royce. So your girl Peyton Royce, man, she was very entertaining. Another person that they need to be doing a lot more with. I believe she's getting better in the ring as well. Of course, Peyton is getting better in the ring because with her husband owning his own school. You know, you got to get your work in. So I'm sure she's getting her work in, and it shows. But Peyton Royce, just as far as the entertainment value, was just on point. She's up there trying to kiss up to Ric Flair. And there was one point she turned around. Charlotte just did the slow walk. Slap! I was like, ah! Ah! Oh, that was so funny. And but like the report said, Ric Flair just stuck his nose in the business, and it's like, dude, like you were nowhere near. Like, how could you be? First off, you were late. Second off, you weren't even on the right side that Peyton Royce ran the ropes on. Like, she was closer to the cameraman than towards where Ric Flair was. And yeah, I don't understand what was going on there. But Lacey, her reaction, just kissing all up on poor Ric Flair. That was so funny. Oh Lord. And then but then boy, this is how you can tell two Americas. Uh the way your girl Charlotte walked up to her father, to her father. Stay out of my business. I'm 35. I wouldn't dare say that to my mom. Like, two Americas, It's just, oh. I mean, it was very heelish, too. And it wasn't like she shouted at her dad. It was like that whisper, that slow whisper. It was like, ooh. It was like they were reversed roles as far as who was the parent and who was the child. So that was crazy. But again, as mentioned on the post wrestling Rewind the Raw show, who knows where this is going? This might have been just a one night thing with Flair because it was Legends Night, so we needed him there. So it might be nothing by the time we get to next week or next Monday. So who knows why they did this? Maybe they just needed to fill time. I don't understand. I don't understand. All right. Anything of substance that happened last night? Anything else of substance? We had AJ Styles pick up another victory over Elias. Yay. Hit him with the Styles Clash this time. Oh, yes, that's one thing I want to mention. So, two people on tonight's Raw declared for or entered themselves into the 2021 Royal Rumble. That would be AJ Styles, who did so over Instagram, I guess, which is weird. And then Randy Orton, who did so later in the show. So, we got those two in the Royal Rumble. So maybe that's what... I don't know what the undercard is going to look like for the Royal Rumble. Other than Drew McIntyre versus Goldberg. I don't know who else you're going to put on there. You're probably going to have that United States Championship match. Again, we got like 4 weeks to lead up to it. So they got plenty of time. But we'll see what else they slide in there. Like I said, the WWE title match, the U.S. title match, probably. Well, we're not getting the Lucha House Party versus the Hurt Business at Royal Rumble. We'll probably get that like next week. Probably on the SmackDown side, whatever Roman's going to be doing. It's weird how they're kind of rekindling this Kevin Owens thing, even though they pretty much put the nail in that coffin in the cage match, but now they go right back to it on last weekend's SmackDown, or last week's SmackDown. So it'll be interesting to see where they go and how they build more of that program if they're going to continue it, especially after, again, Kevin Owens lost twice to Roman. So how do you justify Kevin Owens getting another shot? Maybe he just has to beat down Roman with a drum set. I guess that's how you earn championship contenderships around here. Yeah, and then we're already getting the SmackDown Tag Team Championship match on this coming Friday between the Dirty Dogs and the Street Profits. So who knows? They might have a rematch on the Royal Rumble, or whoever comes out with the belts might end up facing someone entirely different. Who knows? We'll see what happens with that. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see the build up towards Royal Rumble. Let's got some more notes. Anything of substance? Oh, apparently, almost we've been pronouncing his name wrong this whole time, so it's not, or it's Riddle's fault. That doggone dope fiend got us saying almost when it was really Amos. So, doggone Riddle, high in the clouds. Oh, some ridiculous segment from Miz TV with the New Day. I'm not going through that. But I did mention Teddy Long came out to make the tag team match in which the New Day prevailed, with the Woods hitting a shining wizard on John Morrison. So the losing ways continue for Miz and his trusted friend. Anything else of substance that I haven't talked about already? Oh, I mentioned New Year's Evil from the Raw notes. So it's going to be Grand Metalik versus Santos Escobar. It's going to be Raquel Gonzalez versus your girl Rhea Ripley in a last woman standing match. That's going to be good. And then I believe there's, you got the North American title. No, is the North American title going to be? No, the North American title was just on the line. You're going to have Karrion Kross making his return. His first match since his shoulder injury, tearing his labrum, back when he first won the NXT Championship at NXT 30. NXT TakeOver 30. So he's making a comeback after being off for about 6 months, I believe. I believe it was about 6-7 months ago. So he's making his comeback return match against, I'm about to say Karrion Kross. That would be a good match. Karrion Kross versus Karrion Kross. Make that happen, WWE 2K. Karrion Kross versus Damian Priest, which is going to be a very hard-hitting match that I can't wait to see. And you're going to get the NXT Championship match rematch between Kyle O'Reilly, challenging against the champion, Finn Balor. That's going to be a terrific match as well. So NXT looking to pull out all the stops for New Year's Evil this coming Wednesday. By the way, why has everything got to be related to evil or demons? But they never mention is not a pay-per-view called In Your Heaven or Heaven in a Cell or Angels, the Angels in the Outfield Lumberjack match. Like, you don't get nothing like that. You always get something related to evil and devil and demons. You literally have a match type that's named after hell. So, oh, I don't understand this carnal world we live in. But that's just me. That's just me and my beliefs. Uh, and that's about it. That is about it. Oh, Dana Brooke pulled up a roll up win against Shayna Baszler after she pretty much inserted herself into a match with Baszler when Baszler attacked the originally scheduled Mandy Rose to compete against her. She attacked her from behind as she was making her entrance, and Dana Brooke stepped in Mandy Rose's place. Dana Brooke used her leverage that she had while she was being in the while she was being choked in that rear naked choke. She used the leverage to get Shayna Baszler's shoulders square on the mat and get the pinfall victory. And at first I'm like, not again. Like, we've already had this with Shayna where she loses herself when she gets that choke on, and then suddenly she's either disqualified because she's not taking the choke off because the opponent is on the ropes, or she ends up getting pinned. So I'm like, geez, now you're making Shayna look stupid again. But little did I know that there was method to her madness, because she wanted to keep the choke in to choke Dana Brooke unconscious. So apparently she just doesn't care if she wins or loses. She just wants to hurt people. So, and then we get Mandy Rose, who recovered from the attack and hits a big flying knee on Shayna Baszler to break up her choke from Dana Brooke. So Dana Brooke picking up a big win. Oh, one other thing I wanted to mention. Peyton Royce picked up the roll-up win against Charlotte after the distraction. Two big wins for Peyton Royce. First, she picked up the pinfall on Bayley at the Survivor Series, and now she's got a pinfall victory over Charlotte. So things are looking up for your girl Peyton Royce. All right, I believe that is all I have, ladies and gents. So let us move on to your comments. Again, if you want to comment about the show from last night or WWE in general, if you're Cardi B and you want to holla, play up, and let me know right in the comments below. Bars. All right. Let us get on to it. Nothing to it but to do it. Waiting for my computer now. Here we go. 9 people all up in here. Appreciate you guys for joining. Thank you so very, very much for joining. Angel, thank you so very, very much for joining and following. I always make sure to follow back. So, bang. And Angie Jojo, thank you for tuning in and following as well. Thank you so much. And Wolverine Girl Ash, thank you for stopping by and watching. You already follow. I appreciate you for maintaining your followership. Thank you so very, very much. And to all of those that are watching and do not have Sportscaster accounts, thank you guys for tuning in as well. Didn't see any questions or comments in the chat box, so I believe we're just going to go ahead and skedaddle. Yes, indeed. So once again, thank you guys for tuning in. It means a whole heck of a lot. You know, it does. It does really mean a lot. I'm trying to get better at this. So as far as doing the presenting and just focusing on the topics and opinions that pop up in my mind as I watch the show, I'm just an internet doofus, guys. I'm no authority. I just wanted to create more of a wrestling community right here on Sportscaster. So, with that being said, please, most of you guys who have accounts, you guys already follow. If you're new here, if you don't have an account, go ahead and get an account. There's so many good casters here on Sportscaster that talk about all of your favorite sports, including right here with WWE as well. You know, you got people talking about the NBA and NFL. So please, it's a great community to be a part of as well. So go ahead. And once you do get yourself an account, follow your boy right here on Sportscaster. It doesn't cost you a thing, and I always make sure to follow back. Also, please, if you like what you saw, go ahead, favorite this show, hit that heart, and share it with your friends as well. Reminder of my schedule. Please keep in mind for my SmackDown recaps will be next Wednesday or next Friday, Lord willing. This coming Friday, I should say, Lord willing. Directly after SmackDown at approximately 10:30 p.m. And my Raw recaps I always try to start having around approximately 7 p.m. on Tuesday nights. So please join me if you can, if you're available around those nights. If you want to keep the conversation going outside of Sportscaster, please follow me on my social media accounts. The tags and handles will be at the end of the show. So, with that being said, thank you so very, very much for joining me. Appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you so much. Much love. God bless you. God keep you. And until next time, y'all, peace out.